Um, we'll just give everybody a minute to get into the classroom here today. Happy National Pet Day. I hope you guys are all having a really good Sunday. I know we are. We're super excited for this class. We've been looking forward to it. So my name is Jessie Jennings. I'm a content creator here at Plaid. And as you can see, I've got my dog Gus here in the studio. Again, it's National Pet Day, so we're really excited to celebrate with all of you here on Michael's Community Classroom. So we have Emma also in the studio, in the studio next door. And she's gonna be teaching us a really fun class today using personalized pet silhouettes to do a really cute gallery wall. So it's a really fun class. You can use it for any pet you have at home, whether it's a dog, cat, rabbit, horse, whatever kind of pet that you and your family have, it'll absolutely work for that. So I'm just making sure everybody gets into the classroom today. It looks like we are all good. So like I said, just as a repeat, in case you guys just got in, my name is Jessie Jennings and I'm here at Plaid. We're super excited to be celebrating Pet Day with you guys today. This here is Gus on my lap, my 10-month-old puppy. So Emma's gonna be teaching us a really fun craft today using our pet silhouettes to do a gallery wall. But also, I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a really fun trend going on TikTok where people are having their dogs paint paintings. So we're gonna try that today. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but what you do is you take here, I'll show you what we have here today. Take a Ziploc bag and a canvas, and then you need some peanut butter and some paint. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some paint on our canvas, we're gonna put some peanut butter on the Ziploc bag, and then you put the canvas inside the Ziploc bag and you let your pet do the rest. So we're gonna be using peanut butter today, and Gus is gonna lick this bag for us while Emma is crafting. But if you've got, bananas at home or Greek yogurt, whatever it is you're comfortable giving your pet so that they lick the bag clean, and you get a really fun painting that's done by your pet, which who doesn't want that?
Yeah, super special.
Sorry, what'd you say, Em?
I just said that's super special to have a piece of art that's actually made by your furry friend.
Yeah, exactly. And as always, I'm going to be checking out the chat today too. So if you have any questions for me or for Emma, please pop them in the chat and I'd be happy to answer them or happy to relay them over to Emma for you guys to get them answered for you today. So really quick, I'm not sure how this is going to go. We're going to try this really fun TikTok trend first. So bear with me. We're going to start by smearing I'm going to have my little assistant here smear some peanut butter on this bag for me. By assistant, I mean husband. Thank you. And I'm going to put some paint on this canvas here. So I'll do my best to show you guys as I'm going. You can just grab that bag over there. So I'm using of course, I'm using our FolkArt acrylic paints. That's our favorite. So I'm going to put some hot saffron. And then I'm going to use some navy blue. Of course, use whatever colors you have at home or whatever colors match your home decor. It's totally up to you. Or maybe your pet's favorite colors if your pet has favorite color. I don't know. And then I'm going to use some Calypso Sky. I'm just trying to do a fun, summery, colorful painting.
Gus looks very excited to make some art today.
I know. I don't know if he knows about the art, but he is excited about the peanut butter. So that's a good
yummy snack.
I have a feeling this is going to work well for us today.
I think so too.
Here. And, I've seen lots of people do it on TikTok with lots of different kinds of animals, but you can do your paint in a specific pattern, or you can just kind of do it all over the place like I'm doing here, as you guys can see.
Yeah, you can be kind of strategic with it and, place your paint where you want it and then put treats on certain areas over your plastic bag so that you can kind of direct where your dog or whatever pet goes.
Okay, so here's our peanut butter bag. So I'm going to slide our canvas in, try my best not to smear it around.
Yeah, and I guess too, if you guys do this at home, just make sure that your Ziploc bag is sealed completely so that your paint, so that doesn't make a mess and your dog doesn't eat any paint.
Right, because our FolkArt paint is water-based and non-toxic, but of course it's not food safe, so you don't want to ingest it. If you had an accident, I'm sure it would be fine, but of course we are not
totally
condone eating the paint by any means. Make sure that you're sealed. Okay, I got it from here. So I have my paint covered canvas in my sealed Ziploc bag that is covered with peanut butter. So here you go, Gus. Let's see. Go ahead. Come on. Oh, he's going to make up a giant mess. Okay, so we're going to let Gus kind of go to town and paint that canvas for us. We'll check back on him as the class goes. But without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Emma in the studio to teach us how to do that fun silhouette gallery wall. So like I said, we'll check back in on Gus. But Emma, why don't you go ahead and get started?
Okay, awesome. So again, hi everybody. Happy National Pet Day. I wanted to showcase my sweet little pet. I have a little 9-year-old miniature pinscher named Chester. He's at home. I would have brought him today to participate in all the fun, but he doesn't really like car rides. So that's why he's at home today. Okay, so like Jessie said, we're going to be making a super fun pet gallery wall with photos, pet silhouettes of your pet photos. So the things that you're going to be needing to follow along with me today are some canvases. So really you can choose either to do a regular stretched canvas, a piece of illustration board. Michael's has some great, Michael's has some great wood surfaces like this. You can also use like a tray and use the inside of the tray, or you can use a wood canvas and flip it over so it kind of looks like a framed piece. Really the effect we're looking for is just to kind of look like your project is framed when it's really not. It's like an all-in-one cute little art hack. So next you're going to need some scrapbooking paper. Michael's is my favorite place to go to find really cute scrapbook papers. And of course they have these really awesome paper packs. So we're using the Bloomfetti version today, which is super adorable. And I've been using this a lot lately because I'm obsessed with it. So we're using this one today, but you can use whatever paper pack or scrapbook paper you have at home or that you like at Michael's. Then we're going to be using some FolkArt acrylic paint, just regular acrylic, not the multi-surface. We're going to need some paint brushes, and you're going to need a stencil brush too. So Michael's has some great stencil brushes. That's going to be an important piece if you're wanting to make your pet silhouette more solid like this. But if you want your pet silhouette to look like this and have this really pretty pattern here, then you're going to need your scrapbook paper and your Mod Podge. And as you can see, I have some matte, some satin, and some gloss. You can use any formula you like, whatever works best for you, and some scissors. So that was a lot, but it'll be easy if you just follow along. So now we're going to take our pet silhouette pictures. So these I just printed off my normal printer at home, and I just was mindful that they fit to the scale of whatever my surface is. So for my cat here, I try to fit it so that it will fit nicely on this little canvas. And for my dog here, I just sized it up to make sure that it fits in my frame really nicely. So let's get started. Before we get started, Jessie, does anyone have any questions?
Not yet. Cricut is totally calling me out. She said she has the exact same color palette on her table right now because it was the colors that Kira used in the butterfly painting on Monday.
Oh my gosh.
I designed
awesome.
that painting, so I love that color palette, and I told her she totally got me. I just grabbed them right off the table, but I just love that palette so much. It's one of my favorites. So yep, Cricut, you were right. You got us.
That's awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the silhouette of our cat. But one thing to be mindful of is we want to maintain this border. So it doesn't matter what happens to our actual cat part, but we just want to keep this, straight line, because really what we're doing is we're making our own little DIY stencil. So we're just being careful, we're getting right up to the line of where our pet silhouette is, and we're being careful to keep intact this outer rim.
So Emma, what size is that small canvas there?
I'm pretty sure this is a 4x6.
Or 5x7 maybe.
Yeah, 5x7.
Just like a 5x7.
Yeah. Okay, so right here, you can either kind of choose to keep the, I just saw that little comment. You could totally cut out the whiskers, but because they're so thin, you could really just add it with paint at the end. And I can show you guys how to do that. But another thing I want to keep in mind, just to make it easier for us in the beginning, see how this, I don't know if you guys can see, but see how that cat has some pretty like distinctive, like a pretty furry chest right there. We want to just make sure that we keep some of that texture. So even if it's not exactly how the photo looks, we just want to make sure to add a little bit of zigzag texture so that it kind of looks more realistic to our pet. Does that make sense? see how I'm doing here? So maybe keep this a little, and then I'm kind of just going back and forth so that this texture isn't so smooth and we get a little bit kind of jaggedy almost, but still obviously maintaining the shape of our,
Yeah, to kind of get that fur texture.
yeah.
And Stacy's just reminding everyone in the chat that all these Michaels classes are always recorded and they're posted on michaels.com. So if you are not crafting right now, if you don't have your animal photos with you, you can totally print them out. They can be black and white, or they can just be animals you find on the internet, any kind of animal you like, zebras, elephants, whatever. And you can always go back and watch this class later on and follow along with Emma. So we're happy to have you here today to watch and get inspired and kind of learn and ask questions as we're live here. And then, like I said, you can always go back and do this craft later by watching it on michaels.com.
Absolutely. Okay, so now this is the part that we don't need for our project, our beautiful pets. So you can frame this, you can put it by your bed at night, whatever you want to do with
You
this.
can
But we don't need
that
this.
on something, that'd be cute. Totally.
Yeah.
Mod Podge it onto a canvas.
Absolutely, but we don't need this for what we're going to do for this, the next part of this project. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I just want to base coat my canvas. So you can paint this one whatever folk art color you like. So let's choose. Let's go for this really pretty blue color. So I'm just squirting out some blue onto my canvas. And we're just going to base coat this.
I love that color, Em.
Me too. This is folk art French blue. It's a really pretty color. And obviously it's available at Michaels.
Yeah.
I love how rich and creamy folk art is. It just glides on here so well.
Me too. Folk art's my favorite.
Yeah, and it goes on super opaque.
Gus finished his first painting, so we'll go check that out in a little bit, but I'm kind of setting up a second canvas for him to work on now while Emma's crafting.
Okay.
I'll have a whole gallery wall of Gus artwork.
Okay, touching up some of the sides. Okay, so now you guys, I'm just gonna hit this with the blow dryer really quick just to speed things along. And I'm gonna rinse my brush off in my little water basin.
Amy had a really great idea, Emma. She said, if your pet won't hold still for pictures, which I think is super relatable, you can find whatever silhouette of a similar breed on Google. She said she has a long-haired, wiggly mini dachshund and found silhouettes for free that she can print out. So I love that idea. Even if you have a mixed breed, just type in a description on Google, and I bet you anything you'll be able to find a dog that pops up, or a cat, or whatever the pet is that looks similar that you can just use the profile from.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thanks for that. Thanks for that helpful little insight. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, blow dry real quick. Okay, and I dropped my stencil on the floor. Okay, so now you guys, there's two ways to do this next part. So if you have stenciled before, then you probably want to go with the first way. But if you're new to stenciling or you don't have a stencil brush, then I'm going to show you two different ways to do this next part. So what you need is pencil or a stencil brush. And whenever I'm doing this project at home, I like to have some stencil tape. You can use some masking tape or some painter's tape. I just like to have like a fairly low tack tape with me. And you know what too? I'm going to trim this down a little bit just so it's easier to work with. I don't want to trim too much off because I still kind of want that barrier. See right here? So just be mindful of that. Let's see. Maybe
This is
there.
great, Em. I was just saying in the chat, I love this craft because it's so customizable. So you can use any size or shape canvas. You can use a round canvas, or like Emma mentioned, a tray, or you can use an old piece of artwork and just paint over it you have at home. It really depends on the size of your printout or the size that you want to have your artwork at the end. If you have a big wall in your home and you want to put your pet silhouettes on it, great. Or if you just want to do a tiny one for your desk or office, that's great too. So it really can be any shape or size that you prefer.
Yes, absolutely. So guys, there's two ways to do this next part. You can either take your pencil and trace your stencil that you just made and then fill it in with a small flat brush, or you can just go ahead and start stenciling right away and use this as your stencil. And so as you can see, I did this one with our gorgeous treasure gold. Look how shiny it is. And this is the original gold formula. Look how shiny that is on camera. Wow.
Super
This
shiny.
is our original gold formula, but I thought we'd switch it up a little bit today and use this treasure gold Mayan gold. This is my favorite color. And whenever I like to use treasure gold, just so that I don't have to put as many coats down, you don't have to put a whole lot of coats, but just, you know, to save you a little bit of time. I like to use a base coat. So for this Mayan gold, we're going to use today FolkArt linen.
Anna said, this is awesome. I thought I was going to actually paint. That would be extremely challenging for me. I'm sure you could do it, Anna, but I'm glad that this is going to seem a little bit easier and probably more fun for you this way.
Yeah, me too. This is super easy to do, you guys. So, you know, follow along with me. If you've never stenciled before, I just pick up some paint on my stencil brush. And the key to stenciling is you want barely any paint on your stencil. So as you can see here, I offloaded quite a bit of paint. So you really, really want to get a super dry brush. Maybe that's a little too dry. Pick up a little bit of paint. And now we're going to go in, what can I think? A perpendicular motion of our stencil brush to our surface, okay? We just are going to spout. The reason that we want like barely any paint on our brush is because the more paint we have on our stencil brush, the larger the risk of our paint bleeding under our stencil.
And I just want to remind everybody that you do not need to have this brush. You can just, like Emma said, use a pencil and outline the silhouette, and then just paint it in with a regular brush, like a coloring book or a paint by number, same sort of thing.
Yes, and I can go ahead and show you guys how to do that.
Okay, cool.
So here, this last part, let's use the other method. So we're going to trace it with our stencil. I'm sorry, our pencil, they just rhyme. I would have gone ahead and done that to our whole cap, but just for this last part, you can see I traced it with my pencil. And I'm going to use this smaller flat brush. And now that we have our pencil line there, we can remove this.
And can you hold it up to the camera, Emma, so we can see that pencil line?
Yeah, you see that pencil line? So I just traced this stencil that we made with my pencil. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And now, let me know if my head gets in the way. Now I'm just going to follow that pencil line with my flat brush, okay? We're going to shimmy up to that line, you guys.
Gus is really enjoying this painting class today. So I hope you guys are enjoying this class as much as Gus is.
Okay, so you guys, now I'm just gonna go ahead with my smaller flat brush and fill in this whole cat shape with my linen, FolkArt linen. And while I'm doing that, should we check in with Gus?
We totally can check in with Gus. So let's see. Gus finished his first painting. So let's pull it out. This was the one that we showed you guys in the beginning. Let's see this beautiful artwork that Gus made. Oh, it's a little bit messy. So I always like to keep baby wipes on hand for any crafting, but especially for super messy crafts like this. Let's see how this turned out. Ooh, oh, nice. So there's our first one.
Wow.
Canvas by
Very
Gus
Jackson
Jennings.
Pollock.
I know, right? It's a nice marbled, swirled look. It kind of reminds me of the ocean, but with orange. I don't know. So Gus is an artist. So hopefully if you guys are doing this TikTok challenge with your pets at home, it's going as well as it's going here in the studio with Gus. We were not sure what was going to happen. So here's our first one. And he's working on a couple more, Emma. So if you want to keep on crafting, you can kind of come back and see what he's up to.
I love that when we first checked in, he was like looking at you like, hey mom, how do you think I did? Okay, so what we want to do, we just want to fill in the shape. And I'm adding a little bit of water to my paint because it's kind of pulling. And, you know, here at Plaid, where we're located in Atlanta, Georgia, and it is pretty toasty in Atlanta today. And so I have a feeling that that's kind of affecting my paint.
Yes.
And it's just drying a little bit quicker than I would like it to.
Spring has definitely sprung here in Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay, so now you guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blow dry this so that we can add our treasure gold on top. So give me one moment.
Emma, can you remind us what that tan color is?
Yep, this is FolkArt linen, just the regular FolkArt acrylic.
Okay, I'm going to put that in
Linen. Okay, you guys, so now that our linen color is dry, we are going to grab our stencil. And so 2 options again, you guys. You could just, since we have this shape, you can go ahead and paint your treasure gold on top of it, or you can replace your stencil where your linen color is, and then stencil with your treasure gold, which is, I think, what I'm going to do.
So Philip wants to know, what if they don't have that tan color?
So you could totally just go right ahead and use your treasure gold. We've also found that black is a really great undercoat for most of our treasure gold colors. So that's kind of like a weird thing that we found out, but black works really well for treasure gold.
And that's just you can use less coats of the treasure gold, right, Em?
Yeah, absolutely. You do not have to do an undercoat, but we're just doing this just for time's sake for the class today. Or if you love this linen color, you could just go ahead and use this. We just, oh, not this one. We use this linen. This is the same linen color. This is a little background color for our pretty dog here, but that's linen. So it's a really pretty color to just use right in your project.
If you've got like your basic colors at home, you can totally just use white and then mix in like a dab of brown and you'll get a really similar color.
Absolutely.
Amy said, I'm thinking of doing this for my daughter's anniversary this summer. Her husband feels awkward about receiving presents, except when it's for their dog. When it comes to their dog, yes. I want to do a plank with a quote, then I print out the paper. That's a great idea.
That is a fabulous idea.
Especially for somebody who really just loves their pets, which I know we all do, but some people are obsessed with their pets. This is the absolute perfect gift for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Philip says they only have blue. So really you can use any color for this part. You can just go right ahead with the gold, or you can use, a different color. If you just want to have a blue one, that's totally fine too.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is just one version of how you can do this project. After I'm done with this one, I'm going to show you how to do this project with your scrapbook paper. And you would only need one color for that. You wouldn't really need any color of paint if you use 2 different papers. But I'm going to show you how you can do this same project with your one blue color and some scrapbook paper in a minute.
Gus is really loving this class, Em.
I know, this is like his favorite National Pet Day ever.
No, this is his first National Pet Day, really. He thinks he's going to get spoiled like this every year. How's that going, buddy? Is that good? He's an artist.
Just like his mom. Okay, so now we're going to remove our stencil. Ta-da! So ideally, I would probably go and give this another coat, but right now, look how shiny it already is,
Really
you guys.
ready.
Look how pretty. And now you have a beautiful silhouette of your adorable pet.
That looks awesome.
All right,
And
so let's.
so many people crafting at home with you. I can see everybody's got their cameras on, which I love. I love knowing that you guys are crafting with us. So this is a reminder, guys, if you decide to do this project or if you're doing it now and you want to post it on social media, make sure to hashtag Plaid Crafts and hashtag Make It With Michaels, because that's how we get to see all of the really fun projects you guys are making at home. We would love to see your pet silhouettes. We would love to see what your pets look like. So make sure, like I said, if you post it on Facebook or Instagram, to hashtag Plaid Crafts and hashtag Make It With Michaels.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you guys, this is the first version. This is how to do it with some of your FolkArt acrylic paint. And then the second version, I'm going to show you how to do it with paper and Mod Podge. So we're going to cut out our pet again, but this time, instead of trying to keep the rim of our pet, we're going to want to keep the actual shape of our pet intact. So just be mindful of that when you're cutting this out.
And Angela's saying they don't have golds, and they're wondering if you can mix gold. So metallics are tricky. Unless you have other metallics to mix to get that color, it's really hard to mix any paints to get that shiny look to it. So I would just recommend using a different color. Whatever your home decor is like, or whatever the room looks like that you're planning on hanging this, or just your favorite color, I would just go ahead and use a different color besides gold if you don't have that at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Emma, Gus did another painting.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and show you guys. He's an artist, guys. Who knew? I think we should have named him Picasso. Ooh, this one's pretty. This is a nice blue canvas that we did. So this one really looks like the ocean. So look how pretty that is.
Wow, Gus.
No, Gus, you're an artist. What are you doing? He's tired from all that painting. He's gonna rest. And the name of the paint, or the name of the gold, is called Treasure Gold. So it's FolkArt Treasure Gold, and I believe Emma was just using the classic gold color. So there's a few different colors in that line. You can get jewel tones and different shades of gold and things like that. But that was just the classic Treasure Gold color.
Yeah, this was Treasure Gold, but it was actually Mayan gold. M-A-Y-A-N, Mayan gold.
Oh, that was Mayan gold. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay.
It looks like.
Okay. Yeah, it does a little bit. Okay, so now that we have our picture of our dog, we are going to, this is like one of the most fun parts. We're going to pick our favorite, some of our favorite papers from our paper pad. What should we choose? What should we choose? Look how pretty these papers are, you guys. There's a lot of really pretty floral designs in here, which I love, of course.
Michael's has the best scrapbooking paper, in my opinion. They have the best like books of scrapbook paper.
They really do. Let's use this one.
Ooh, Mary said it's going to take a while for them to get profiles of their pets. They have 2 cats, 2 dogs, and 1 peacock.
Ooh.
And she said they always look at the camera. I understand that. Yeah.
That would be awesome to do this with a peacock. That's amazing.
I love that. Very cool.
Okay, so you guys, one trick whenever you're cutting something out that you're about to Mod Podge, if you can, I just like to flip the paper over, because that way when you trace it with your pencil, you don't have to worry about erasing the pencil marks. It's just one more step to make it easier on yourself. Okay, so we'll get our pencil again, and we're just gonna trace our dog.
So we've been seeing tons of animals on TikTok doing this. People have been doing it with like ducks and all kinds of pets. So we were talking here, just my husband and I, we have Gus at home, and then we have 2 cats, and we also have a python. So we were thinking about maybe doing a Python painting for our channel. I don't really know, kind of get her to like slither across the canvas. Keep an eye on our social channels that might be coming up. We don't know yet. We're gonna have to see how it goes. It might take some experimenting to see if we can get her to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we have that, we're gonna cut this out. We're gonna cut it down a little bit to make it easier on us.
Stephanie wants to know, is there any way you can mix paint and the art of sewing together? So that's actually a great question. I know Emma has done stuff with like string and things like that. I've seen a lot of people who do paintings and then they use stitching on a canvas to sort of embellish their paintings. So that's kind of a fun way to do that. But also painting on fabric. We have lots of great videos on our social channels, especially in our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group. We have an artist named Andy Jones who is just an absolute like, you know, amazing source of knowledge for painting. And he's done lots of painting on fabric. So painting on jeans and jackets and that sort of thing. So make sure to check that out, guys. That Facebook group is called Let's Paint with Plaid. But I love the idea of mixing, you know, textile arts with painting.
Yeah, that would be super cute to do a canvas and to paint some funky brush strokes or something like that. And then to actually stitch, embroider on top of it your silhouette. You can just trace it with a pencil and then follow it with your embroidery lines over your really cool painting.
That's an awesome idea. I love that, Em.
Tuned in for next National Pet Day. We'll probably be doing that.
Only have a year to wait.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to grab our wood surface here. And we're just gonna kind of like line it up, see where it looks good. I love that already. How cute is that? And we're gonna take our pencil.
That one looks like your dog Chester, Emma.
I know.
There's Chester. That looks like his, you can't tell from the picture, but that's what his profile looks like.
Yeah, except Chester looks a lot crazier.
Yeah. Not so regal.
Chester is very quirky.
Yes, he is. He's a funny guy. Gus is passed out. He's exhausted from all that painting. Crafting really takes it out of you.
Ooh, I forgot about this curve, y'all. Why didn't anyone tell me?
Sorry.
Okay. We're just gonna curve that around. How's that look? That looks nice.
So good.
Yay. Okay, so you guys, now what we're going to do is we're just going to base coat this part of our wood surface.
We've got an update on the peacock. So somebody asked if the peacock gets along with the rest of the animals. And Mary said, the peacock is very patient with the dogs and cats. They have learned to respect him. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice mutual.
I love that. So guys, now we're just going to base coat our surface again. I hope you guys are.
The surfaces. I'm sorry. Can you remind us like the size and what the surface is for Michael's?
Sure. This, I believe this is about maybe an 8x8,
Okay.
probably. Let's see if this is a 5x7. This is probably a 10x10. It's just, you can find this in the wood surfaces like craft aisle in your local Michael's.
Okay. And it's kind of like a wood panel, right? So it's got that frame on the one side and then the other side is flat. Okay.
Yes. It's by ArtMinds. It's called Wood Plaque. It's ArtMinds. And so I can get really close up to the edges of my borders here, you guys, without having to use stencil tape. You totally could use stencil tape and just tape it off. But we're gonna just take our brush and I'm kind of gonna show you guys we're gonna shimmy right up to that line. Does that make sense? That's how I like to make straight lines when I'm like in a border like this. So that way, instead of having to go this way and risk like getting overboard, it's just, I found it's a lot easier to maintain that straight line because you're really making the surface work for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great tip.
I hope you guys are having fun with this class. I hope you're finding it fairly easy.
Yes, I think people are loving it. We just got a comment from, I think it's pronounced Nalin or Naleen, who said, this is one of the best crafts they have done, and also they are 9. So I'm so super glad you joined us today, and I'm super glad you're having fun.
Me too.
We do lots of these classes with Michaels. Michaels is, so awesome. We love working with them, and we're super happy that they let us teach you guys some awesome inspiration, some awesome techniques. So we are here a few times a week. We're going to be here at least through July, I'm sure longer. But every Monday night we do a painting class. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then throughout the week during the afternoons, we do other crafting classes. We do Mod Podge and fun seasonal things like this and different trends that come up in crafting. So make sure to check out Michael's community classroom calendar because we just love doing classes with Michael's. We love getting to interact with you guys and give you guys some inspiration.
Yeah, and Jess, I just saw that comment pop up on the screen. This is FolkArt Fire Coral. It's a really, really pretty color. And just as a recap, all the colors I used, that blue color in the beginning, that was FolkArt French Blue. This is FolkArt Fire Coral. That light brown color was FolkArt Linen. And then my Treasure Gold color was Treasure Gold Mayan Gold. But obviously you can use whatever colors you want to.
Yeah. Just a reminder, someone was asking, I put it in the chat too. On Monday nights, we do a class called Paint Night Live, and it's either me or one of our other artists here at Plaid, and we do a very beginner-friendly painting. So we teach you to paint a full painting in just about an hour. So really great for beginners if you're just starting out in painting, or even if you've been painting for many years and you just want to have fun and kind of chat with us and hang out. Every Monday night at 8 p.m. again Eastern time, we are here on the Michael's Community Classroom page, painting a really fun painting with you guys. So we have the next few of those up. I want to say through April or May, I don't know, but we'll be here. So just make sure to keep checking back. But yeah, every Monday night we are here painting with Michael's.
Yes, and I can attest to that, you guys. If you've never done one of our Let's Paint Lives on Monday night with Michael's before, they really, really are like full, like incredibly like full paintings that we paint in just about an hour. Anybody can do it. They're very beginner friendly. And you learn a lot of tips and tricks along the way, just about painting in general that you can take into your own projects. But at the end, it's super cool because it's like a lesson, but you still have a done project.
Yeah, it's really great. If you've ever been to one of those like sips and strokes sort of classes, it's kind of like that. Maybe a little bit more technique involved. You'll learn more technique, I guess I should say. But if you've never painted before, don't be intimidated because it's really the best class for you. So
yeah,
we have one. Oh, so go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, and it's a great way to like, connect with family and friends. If you're not with them right now, it's a great way to both hop on the Zoom class, maybe have a few drinks. It's just a really relaxing, fun way to spend time with people right now.
And we have one tomorrow night. Andy Jones will be teaching a really fun, sort of like Monet inspired water lilies painting. So I'm going to put the link in the chat right now so you guys can go ahead and register for that. That's tomorrow night. It's going to be Andy Jones.
Great. Okay, you guys, one more time. I'm going to blow dry this. All right, you guys. So I'm going to give you a little tip. Sometimes when you're crafting, if you're not super sure if your project is dry enough to move on to the next step, I like to just touch the surface. And if it's a little bit cool to the touch, that means that you'd probably still have more drying time to do, because what that's telling you is what drying really is, it's evaporation. And so once the water is evaporating, the surface is getting a little bit cooler. So if your surface is still a little bit cool, just give it a little bit longer, because that means it still has some drying to do. But if it's room temperature, then you're good to go. And this one is becoming room temperature. So we're going to move on to our next step. So I'm going to grab my Podge Matte. Did you say something, Jess?
I was just saying a little bit of science with Emma.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Cricut would like to know, how long does it take to dry without the dryer?
Cricut, I would give this like about 20 minutes.
Yeah, our acrylic paints dry pretty quick. As long as you do a nice even thin coat, you don't want to put too much paint on, they dry pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to apply some Mod Podge to my surface. We just want a nice, generous coat of Mod Podge.
And I just want to remind people, I saw a couple of people say they have taken our Facebook classes before. So we love doing Michael's paint night every Monday night, but we also do some great painting classes on our own channels. So the first Thursday every month, we do Let's Paint Live, which is a really similar style on our Plaid Crafts Facebook page. And Andy Jones, who will be teaching tomorrow night on Michael's Community Classrooms page, does classes at least twice a week. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, he does Lunch and Learn. And all of that information you can find in our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group. So make sure to become a member. We'd love to have you. We talk all about these Michael's paint nights and about all the other painting classes that we do. So we love teaching people to paint. We love teaching people how to use our paint and give you guys inspiration. So make sure to check out that Facebook group. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat right now.
Okay, so now that we've applied that layer of Mod Podge down, we are gonna, that's not it. We're just gonna check to make sure that it fits. We might need to add a little bit more Mod Podge in some areas, like up here. And we are ready to roll, you guys.
I love this comment. Mary said, I started using Mod Podge in college in the early 70s. I love that.
That is incredible, Mary.
Mod Podge has been around for a long time, you guys. It's one of our legacy brands.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you found this class and are doing it with us today, Mary. We're so happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. So what our next steps would be, we would just wait for our Mod Podge to dry. And then we would just apply one more coat of our Mod Podge on top to seal it. And then we're good to go.
I love it.
So together we have these two really super cute little pet portraits. And I'll show you guys one last thing, okay? Where did I have it? As you can see here, my little boxer friend has a really cute little bow tie. I'm going to show you guys how I did that.
So can you tell us what more about the Mod Podge and what does it do? Is it, Amy wants to know, is it just a glue?
Okay, so Mod Podge is a glue and a sealer all in one. It's water-based. It is super great for sealing like paper and fabric onto your projects. I'm sorry, gluing it. And then, so once the glue is dry, you apply another coat of your Mod Podge to seal it. And it is like, seriously, it is the best craft glue and sealer on the market. It's been around for decades and decades, and it's like the best thing that you can use for all your crafting projects.
We call it America's favorite decoupage. So if you've ever heard of decoupage, where just like Emma described, you're, adhering papers to furniture or canvases or whatever it is that you're making, and then you can seal it with the same thing. That's what Mod Podge is. So we use it for everything. And if you want to check out, again, I keep mentioning this, we do lots of classes on Michael's community classroom pages. We do lots of Mod Podge classes. So you can go back and check out their library of classes they recorded on their YouTube channel. But we have lots of classes with Mod Podge, so you can learn a lot more about it.
Yeah.
And Sarah said it dries clear. Yep, Mod Podge always dries clear. So it goes on milky and it looks a little bit cloudy, but it will always dry clear.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to decide what paper I want to use. It's so hard.
Too many good ones.
I know, for real. Okay, swing back around to the beginning. Please, this one. Okay, so if you remember our cat from earlier, what we're going to do with him is we're going to just trace the part that we would want, like a bow tie or a collar. And one thing to know, I almost made this mistake. So since we're on the back and we're tracing it this way, we're going to, sorry, the back of our paper, because the pattern is on the other side, we're going to flip him. See how the orientation is the same on both of these? We're going to flip this so that when we flip the pattern around, it fits. Does that make sense? And we're just kind of tracing the part of where a collar would be. Okay. And so now that's kind of where the neck starts. We are going to draw our little bow.
That's so cute,
And now we're going to cut this a little bit down to size.
That's a great idea to use the silhouette that you already have for size.
Yeah, and you can fit it exactly to the right size of your project.
That's awesome.
And now we're just going to cut this bow tie out.
Amy said it might be fun to use fabric here. Love that idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Amy.
Mod Podge works really well with fabric. So if you're just using for decorative purposes like this on a canvas, you can just use any of our Mod Podge formulas, but we also have a Mod Podge fabric formula. So if you wanted to do this like on a pillow or something like that, and you want it to be a little bit softer, you can use that formula too and do the exact same.
Oh my gosh, how cute would this be on a pillow, you guys?
Yes, definitely. And Amy, yes, you can use the Mod Podge to glue it onto the painting. Yep, that's what
that would make a great gift. And just to remind you all, Mother's Day is coming up, so I'm saying it quietly in case you don't want anyone around you.
You don't want your mom to hear that you're going to give them this for Mother's Day.
Okay, you guys. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Amber said, does Mod Podge seal fabrics for washing? So the Mod Podge fabric formula you can put in the washing machine, but I wouldn't recommend sealing with it. It's more just for the adhesion. So like fabric to fabric, you can put it in the washing machine though. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Amber wants to know, what do you use to paint something like pillows? So you can use multi-surface. So we have our FolkArt multi-surface paints. I don't have any here in front of me, but works really well for fabric and pillows and things like that. Or you can just use our regular FolkArt acrylic paints, and we make something called FolkArt textile medium. So what you do is you mix it with your paints. I think it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but it'll tell you more on the bottle. And that makes it softer and it makes it more durable for using on fabric. So you can find that on michaels.com. It's called FolkArt Textile Medium. And like I said, you just mix it with any of your acrylic paints and it will make it really well for working with fabric.
All right, you guys, I think we're done.
That's awesome. That looks so good, Emma. Everybody loves it.
Okay, great, you guys. Well, thank you again so much for watching. Of course, we want to say again, happy National Pet Day. We want to give a big thank you to Michaels for allowing us to do this class with you all today. We hope you were inspired. We hope we gave you guys some great ideas for your next pet crafting project. Jessie, should we do a quick check-in with our friend Gus?
We can, yeah. This is our final painting that Gus did here today. He's a little bit sleepy. I think he kind of got worn out from painting. So I think that's enough painting for one day, Gus says. But yes, this is our third painting. So this was really fun, guys. Like I said, this TikTok trend. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I think it's really fun. It's a really fun thing to give, you know, for your dog moms or dog dads and things like that. So I would definitely give it a 5 stars, give it a try at home. Oh, here's our third one too. This might be my favorite one. So yeah, like Emma said, thank you guys so much for joining. Please make sure to check back. We are here on Michael's Community Classrooms a few times a week. So we have so much fun teaching you guys and so much fun giving you inspiration. So we hope to see you in our next class, which is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye, guys.